I'm going to start by just saying last month we lost one of New York's finest, Detective Jonathan Diller, who was fatally shot in the line of duty. Detective Diller faithfully served our city and the borough of Queens for 3 years, putting his life on the line every day to help make New York a safer place for us all. He was a beloved father, husband, son, and brother who positively impacted everyone around him. He made our city and my borough of Queens better. My prayers are with his family and his colleagues. Last month, we also lost 19-year-old Wynn Rosario in Councilmember Lynn Schulman's district in Queens. Wynn called 911 while experiencing a mental health crisis, which ended tragically when he was shot and killed by responding officers. Wynn deserved mental health support, and his death underscores the importance of community-based mental health interventions and evidence-based crisis responses. The Council continues to call for greater investments in mental health services that advance these goals within our upcoming city budget, and my prayers go out to Wynn's family. Last week, the Council released its official response to the Mayor's fiscal year 2025 preliminary budget. The Council has made it clear that our city has the available resources to protect the essential services that New Yorkers rely on for the health and safety of their communities. Many of the budget cuts made by the administration were not only too broad and carried destabilizing consequences for our city and constituents, but were unnecessary in the first place. The Council's preliminary budget response proposes a balanced and responsible path for our city with a $6.15 billion in additional funds available to help reverse certain cuts, invest in critical areas for the city, address under-budgeting in the mayor's preliminary budget, account for expiring federal stimulus funds, and strengthen the city's reserves. Our investments are focused in several areas that respond to some of our city's most significant challenges: affordable housing, 3K, other early childhood education programs, and our public schools, CUNY, proven mental health solutions, programs that reduce recidivism, our cultural institutions and libraries, and an array of other vital services for New Yorkers. True public safety requires holistic investments by the city, as our city's district attorneys testified at the Public Safety Committee's budget hearing. We know that New Yorkers across our city need mental health solutions that help people access support, avoid crisis, and avert harmful cycles that exacerbate their challenges. Building on the Council's mental health roadmap, we call for over $200 million for mental health services, including investments in proven solutions like forensic assertive community treatment teams, mental health courts, and supportive housing that need investments at a greater scale. It is also critical that we restore and expand investments into the programs that reduce recidivism and prevent crime, which have recently been cut by the administration. We are prepared to advocate for these solutions in our city budget. The Council is a responsible steward of our city's fiscal health. We have demonstrated our commitment to advancing a budget that is not only fiscally balanced, but also protects essential services for New Yorkers and charts a path toward stability for our city. And finally, yesterday, the murderer of 14-year-old Amir Griffin was sentenced to 30 years in prison. Amir lived in my district. He was a student and a star basketball player at Benjamin Cardozo High School who helped to one day make it to the NBA. Amir's death devastated his family and shook our community to its core, and I will never forget that tragic night and the raw emotions that myself, my staff, and amazing members of the 113th Precinct and community leaders shared as we somehow tried to comfort each other. As a mother and grandmother, my heart still breaks for the loss of that dear child. And as the council member for the 28th District, where Baisley Park houses are located, it is still my vision and intention to upgrade and rename the community center, the Amir Griffin Community Center. NYCHA, do the right thing and lift the unnecessary pause you have placed on this upgrade that was promised to this grieving family so many years ago. Now let's move on to our stated agenda. First, we will vote on the following finance items: a transparency resolution approving new designations and changes of certain organizations receiving funding in the expense budget, a preconsidered resolution sponsored by Councilmember Justin Brannan authorizing a 40-year Article 11 tax exemption for the preservation of 2 rent-stabilized buildings in Councilmember Abreu's and Salam's districts. A pre-considered resolution sponsored by Councilmember Brannan, authoring a 40-year Article 11 tax exemption for the preservation of 20 rent-stabilized buildings in Councilmember Felice's and Stevens districts. And a pre-considered resolution sponsored by Councilmember Brannan, authorizing a 40-year Article 11 tax exemption for the preservation of 1 rent-stabilized building in Councilmember Hudson's district. Next, we'll vote on the following appointments. Andrea Bierstein to the New York City Taxi and Limousine Commission. Maria Almonte Weston as a Commissioner of the New York City Local Conditional Release Commission. George Goodman as Commissioner of the New York City Local Conditional Release Commission. Councilmember Jennifer Gutierrez as a member of the New York City Commission on Public Information and Communication, and Ngoso Okaro as a member of the New York City Equal Employment Practices Commission. Next, we'll vote on the following land use items. 396-40 Avenue X rezoning will facilitate a new 7-story mixed-use building with 45 housing units, including 12 affordable units, retail and medical office space, and 45 accessory off-street parking in Councilmember Brannan's district. The council will be modifying the MIH text amendment to remove option 2 and require MIH option 1. Willets Point Phase 2 will facilitate the second phase of a long-term area-wide redevelopment strategy that re-envisions the Willett Point neighborhood in Queens, in Councilmember Moya's district. This phase will create approximately 1,400 permanently affordable housing units, a 250-room hotel, a 25,000-seat stadium that will be the home of the NYC Football Club, 2.8 acres of publicly accessible open space, and 80,000 square feet of local retail space. This project will build the city's first stadium dedicated to soccer and bring much-needed affordable housing to our city. Lastly, 2 applications in Councilmember Caban's district. 30-11 12th Street rezoning will facilitate a new 8-story mixed-use building with approximately 86 housing units, including 26 units that will be permanently affordable, ground floor retail, and 41 accessory parking spaces. The council is modifying the application to remove MIH option 2 and require option 1 and add the deep affordability option. 23-01 Steinway Street rezoning will facilitate a new 6-story mixed-use building plus cellar with approximately 22 housing units, including 6 affordable units, ground floor retail space, and parking spaces. The council is modifying the application to remove MIH option 2, require option 1, and add the deep affordability option. Today, we will also vote on the following pieces of legislation. Resolution 74, sponsored by Councilmember David Carr, would recognize April 17th annually as Giovanni da Verrazzano Day in the city of New York. Resolution 69A, sponsored by Councilmember Lincoln Ressler, would prohibit and void provisions in employment agreements that shorten the statute of limitations in which claims and complaints of unlawful discriminatory practices, harassment, or violence may be filed, and in which civil actions may be commenced according to the city's human rights law. I invite Councilmember Ressler to the podium to discuss his legislation.
Thank you so much, Speaker Adams. It really is an honor to serve in this council with you, and coming on the heels of the exceptional budget response from the council that showed that we can restore every single one of the problematic cuts that the mayor has been putting forward, it really feels like we're hitting our stride. So thank you for your leadership. I'm thrilled that we have the opportunity to vote today on Intro 69. No one should ever have to experience harassment or discrimination or even violence in the workplace. And when these unfortunate incidents occur, New Yorkers can depend on our city's human rights law to be able to hold their employers accountable. Unfortunately, many large employers, like the largest private employer in New York State, Northwell Health, have been forcing employees to sign contracts that limit and undermine their own rights. When you're applying for a job or when you actually begin employment, many large employers are forcing their employees to limit the time that they can sue when harassment or discrimination occurs in the workplace to only a 6-month period. These contracts are unreasonable and they are contrary to public policy. 6 months is not enough time for you to recover from an experience of harassment or discrimination, find an attorney, and actually file a lawsuit. The city's human rights law set a 3-year time limit for a reason, and our legislation today will close unfair, deeply problematic corporate loopholes once and for all. And when this bill is signed into law, it will take effect immediately so that we can protect the rights of workers across New York City. I really want to thank again the Speaker for her leadership. I want to thank Chair of the Committee on Human and Civil Rights, Councilmember Natasha Williams, who is a real champion for this bill. And this bill came from a constituent in my district who's an employment attorney, Ann Clark, and she brought us this idea because she was clients who were experiencing this very form of unfair treatment from their employers. And my Chief of Staff, Molly Haley, who is absolutely brilliant, is the person that actually should be up here talking about it, but that's not how it works. So thank you all for your help and really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Introduction 126A, sponsored by Minority Leader Joseph Borelli, would require the Fire Department of New York to provide body armor to employees within the Bureau of Emergency Medical Services, or EMS. This provision would largely codify existing practices and establish requirements that equipment meet ballistic and stab-resistant standards. And Introduction 127A, also sponsored by Minority Leader Borelli, would require that FDNY provide de-escalation and defense training to EMS employees. I invite Councilmember Borelli to the podium to discuss this legislation that is indeed personal to me as well. Thank you for your bills.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and it's great to have your support. These are bills that have been being kicked around for a number of years, going back to when I was chair of the committee in the last council. Our EMTs are not leftover first responders, so they are not just simply given leftover body armor that was used by other agencies, that was gotten secondhand, and things like that. So this bill codifies the standards that must be met. We want them to be protected from both bullets and stab wounds. And the second bill authorizes the department and requires them to give self-defense and de-escalation training to EMTs once every 3 years. And we know that this type of training is going to be based on the types of encounters that they have responded to. We know just 2 years ago we lost Lieutenant Allison Russo, who was unfortunately stabbed to death. Just 4 years before that, we lost EMT Yadira Arroyo. Both of these situations may not have been stopped by a ballistic vest. They may have, in the case of Lieutenant Russo, but both of these might have been resolved with some de-escalation training. So going forward, these folks don't have a choice whether they get to respond to an incident or not. We expect them to go wherever the danger is. Oftentimes when there are incidents involving police, they don't know who the bad guys are, who the good guys are. They just have to respond to the scene and do the best they can. They're our angels, and we should treat them like that and make sure that they are given the best chance to come home safely to their loved ones every night. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Minority Leader. In behalf of my daughter, who was EMS, and her colleagues, she's now paramedic, I thank you so much again for your legislation. That does conclude our stated agenda. With that, we will take on-topic questions first.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a borderline question. You can tell me if it's out of order. So I'd say you should have EMS directly in the topic here, because you're both, I know you've worked so long and your person's connected into it. You talked about the secondhand equipment aspect of it, and this feeds into the sense that they do feel, because they've been promised for so long, pay equity and status with the fire department, firefighters. This council in previous administration voted to give them that uniform status.
Yep.
Would you say to them, those who are discouraged that they still don't have pay packer equity despite the support of the council and now a generation of promises from various politicians?
I'll start, and then Minority
So
Leader,
that's
if you
okay,
want to
that's
chime in.
within the boundaries?
Yes, certainly, certainly, Bob.
All topic, right?
Yeah, certainly, and as you said, you're well aware of the fight that this council has been in behalf of our EMS workers for a long, long time. We are still at that table, trying to ensure equity, which we know there is a tremendous gap between FDNY, the work of FDNY, the work of EMS workers who fall under the purview of FDNY as well. We are still working as a council our best to make sure that that happens. But you also understand that there is a collective body between that is working also, and that is the body that we have to work with to get on board with the equity that these workers deserve and have looked for so many years. So while the council can go but so far in advocacy, and believe me, we will continue to do that. I have grandchildren that are now on their way to college, and they need help. So we will continue our best fight. But again, there is another body that has to be moved to do the right thing by those workers. Well, we're talking about, bargaining as well. We're talking about unions and a lot of other folks that are involved in this work as well.
Right? I mean, so this is
Oh,
one of those
absolutely.
occasions where you
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you want to give me some more.
We're bipartisan on a lot of things, by the way, Bob.
On more than we disagree on.
Absolutely.
I mean, the city has taken steps to compensate EMTs better, so that's a good thing, and we shouldn't take anything away from that. But, I mean, over the past few years, we've looked at different models in the committee where you have some cities, some municipalities where they treat EMTs as a promotional step in becoming a firefighter or a paramedic, and that everyone has to do that before getting promoted to something else. Or we've seen other cities where, like Boston, for example, where EMTs are just essentially at parity. There's a small gap either direction depending on seniority and collectively bargained provisions. We actually take the worst of both of those things and don't really provide a good system by which someone is required to be an EMT to get promoted or just has some sort of parity. So I don't think we could operate outside of the collective bargaining process, but I think we all certainly agree that EMTs should and ought to be paid more, if not equal, certainly more in line.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Councilman Bressler, your bill being introduced on banning lobbying from fundraisers, consultants who worked on campaigns from if their clients get
Kinda
elected,
off-topic.
can't
I'll
lobby
take it.
them. Just wanted to ask you, this was in the Daily News and colleague, actually he's not here, said this could be focused on or affect Vito Pita, work for the Mayor Adams, and Brianna Suggs. Was the genesis of this bill stick it to Mayor Adams kind of thing? Was there some kind of unseemly cross-political enrichments that led you to introduce this?
As the chair of the Government Ops Committee, I've been reviewing previous hearings on and oversight hearings on lobbying. The last ones we had, I think, were in 2012, and the one prior to that was 2006. And in both of those hearing transcripts, you can see that Council Members Felder, Speaker Quinn, and Councilmember Brewer, who then chaired the committee, were focused on people working as political consultants and fundraising consultants on campaigns and then lobbying those very same people that next year. This is a long-standing issue, and it's an area where people are trading in their influence inappropriately, and it needs to be brought. We need some real oversight, and that's what we're going to discuss at the hearing next Friday. I think it's an important topic. It continues to be something that we read about a lot in the newspaper with regard to consultants for the mayor and for others, and I hope that there'll be an opportunity for us to bring some real accountability to this issue.
Do you mind if I ask you, who worked on your campaign getting elected to the council? Who was any big names we'd all recognize? And
By all means. I was assisted by Red Horse Strategies. They only did work on our field operation in 2021 and in 2023, not on other parts of our campaign. We have not been contacted by Red Horse Strategies since being elected to the council for any lobbying activity.
actually, if you don't mind, I'd like to.
Dan, come on, Dan, come on.
The answer is nobody. I crushed my opponent.
He's
before he
easy.
run.
Maybe this is a less ideological bill. Maybe the Republicans or maybe some good governance.
Yeah, I would certainly consider it.
Speaker, on the Willits Point
Yes.
issue, I know there's not necessarily a timeline yet for when the housing and school and public space component is going to be concluded, but have you gotten any sense of what type of timeline we're looking at? And if you haven't, do you have a timeline that you think is reasonable for actually getting this project completed?
And thank you for the Chris. I'm looking for your dog, too. They said you had a dog, Chris. I don't see the dog. Just saying, I love pets. I don't see the dog. I'm offended, but it's fine. Looking. Ooh.
Well done.
Oh, so good, so good. Yes, that was a good sing. The answer to your question is really, really simple. I have do not know the timeline. At this point, we are still working with the council member, with the developers on all of this. So I don't have a timeline for you.
I also had a question about the bill being introduced by Councilmember Wesley.
Lincoln, it's popular today.
I was curious if you could go into a little more detail about like the practical implications of this. In your estimation, would it apply to someone like Frank Carone, whose law firm did work for the mayor? Obviously, he came to the administration, so he was subject to that anyway, but just in a theoretical world, like let's say in the 2025 campaign. He ran a law firm, and then he now runs a lobbying firm. Would it apply to him personally? Would it apply to Oak Tree Solutions? Would it apply to just lobbying the mayor or the whole administration? I had a quick follow-up after that.
One of the bills that we're going to be hearing next Friday places prohibitions on individuals like Frank Carone, who had served as chief of staff to the mayor, and limits their ability to lobby the administration and not or even appear in front of the city government for a period of 2 years on behalf of any client. So even if he's not registered, even if a person exiting the chief of staff to the mayor role would not be registered as a lobbyist, they could not appear before any city agency on behalf of a client for a 2-year period in one of the other bills that we've introduced. The bill that Councilmember Brewer is the lead sponsor on, and I'm happy to be her first co-prime, to limit, would place a restriction on political consultants and fundraising consultants' ability to lobby specifically subsequent to work on paid work on a campaign for political or fundraising activities.
And then quickly, could you just talk about why this is like, you find that arrangement problematic that can exist now? And then for the speaker, I was wondering, I know the bill has to go through a whole negotiation process and all that, but do you support the principle of the legislation?
I'll let the council member.
Bill is just being introduced today, so my colleagues are going to have an opportunity to read it for themselves in the hours ahead. The legislation. Sorry, your question for me was, why is this important? So look, the dynamic of a political consultant or a fundraising consultant and a politician is an intimate one, and we rely heavily on their advice and their guidance to help us serve in these roles. And I think we should not allow for those same individuals to lobby us on behalf of corporate interests. That's my strong opinion. We're going to hear what people have to say about the bill next week, Friday, get feedback from the public, from colleagues and others, and we can see from there.
We've gone off topic, by the way, with this line of questioning, but we're gonna go back to on topic, and then we'll shift.
Could you just address, do you feel like you support this legislation?
Well, my colleague pretty much answered it. We are going to be hearing from the public, from our colleagues on this, and we'll come up with determinations after that.
Anything else for on topics?
I mean, you said corporations, what about like nonprofits, would they hire?
We're back to on topic, Dan.
I can stick around after.
Yeah.
Last call for on topic. This was a digression, but anything else for on topic? State of the agenda. Okay, off topic. Morgan.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
Hi. Just wondering if I could get your reaction to the mayor's administration requiring city council members to fill out that 2-page form to speak to city agencies. If you could just explain what you think about that new policy, and also how do council members reach out to city agencies? What are some of the examples? Like, I'm sure you guys reach out on like potholes, for example, in your district or different things like that. If you could just kind of help explain.
Sure. Thank you, Morgan. It's good to see you. First of all, I don't officially know of any such policy as we sit here today. So I can answer to what it would look like if we were to have notification of a policy, which we have not. Shout out to Jeff Colton. I don't see him in the room. That's how I found out on Jeff Colton's social media. So we'll pass it along, Joe. Thank you very much. If there were to be such a policy introduced to this council, I have an issue with the executive branch of government issuing policy, so to speak, to any legislative branch of government. I think it's inappropriate. So we'll just start there. This type of work would definitely gum up the works in the way that 51 members have operated over the years now, going into their his third year, Joe's millionth year, and my 7th year. So we have never heard, of such a thing like this. I have encouraged, my members to conduct business as usual, because it is the most effective way that we deal with our agencies, our commissioners. It is certainly not the way to get stuff done for the people of the city of New York, and we intend to continue to do our work to the best of our abilities. The way that our day-to-day is handled, and particularly in our district offices, is through the relationships that we have built over the years with our agencies, with folks that work with our commissioners. Those, and my colleague used the term intimate, those are very, very intimate relationships. Some of the agencies, commissioners, and the folks that work with the commissioners actually do know our constituents by name, because that is the frequency that work is done, in behalf of those constituents, be it DSNY, be it DFTA. I mean, the list goes on, DOT, for crying out loud. The list goes on and on. Yes, it takes a village, Bob. Thank you so much. But the work it's so much work, and God bless our the folks that do handle our constituent services. It is the most important work that is done in any district office, for a council member. So just to imagine if 10 interactions with DSNY, which can happen with any body that works in constituent services per office, were to get bogged down by implementing a 13-page form. Yet still, I don't know any knowledge of a form. I have not been informed of a form, but I can't imagine such a thing impeding the work for the people of the city of New York.
So the mayor hasn't spoken about this to you at all yet?
I haven't, my team hasn't, we have not received any official notification on any such form or forms.
Ethan?
So should this form actually,
Oh, Ethan.
but do you consider this like an escalation of kind of already ratcheting up tensions between the two sides of City Hall? And, another example of maybe some executive overreach. I know that kind of language was used a lot around the city FEPS bills, them not implementing those.
Yeah, no. I don't think, in all honesty, I don't think that, for any proposal, this form proposal or whatever it is, I still don't know what it is. I don't think that it would be anything intentional, to kind of, somebody in here said stick it to ... to stick it to the council. I really don't believe that's the case. I really do believe if that were to be the case, the intentions behind it were probably very noble, probably, would think that this would be effective, but I dare say it has never been tested, and it would not work with a 51-member body such as this. So, yeah.
Would you be open to testing it?
No.
On that same policy, since it's front of mind for everyone, have you heard from any members yet who have run into issues because of this policy? They're trying to get a hold of someone on an agency level?
Chris, actually, when it was first noted by social media, and some of you in this room, a couple of colleagues did say that they had put in for something and something was bounced back and saying fill out a form. So again, hence my statement and encouragement to my members yesterday would be to continue business as usual. We don't want things to get, bogged down for the people who need services. Goodness knows we have enough when it comes to headcount already and vacancies in agencies. We don't need anything else holding up the work and the progress of service delivery for New Yorkers.
Do you think this sends some sort of chilling message to commissioners to to stop talking to council members?
No, not at all. The relationships between the council and our commissioners, for all intents and purposes, are very, very positive ones. Our colleagues in the council respect the work of the commissioners. The commissioners work very hard, and I dare say that this would make their day even more difficult as well.
Thank you, Chris. Bob, you'll be our last question.
Thank you. Well, I guess to try to tie these together, so we have this approach about information and trying to get control of it. And at the same time, we have the unprecedented encryption that's going on that started in North Brooklyn, that's now throughout Staten Island, where for the first time ever, real-time New York City radio police communications will be encrypted. I'm just not wondering if there isn't like a concern about transparency here in the sense that we need that to know what's happening in real time. When things go wrong, it's that real-time information that helps, particularly if there might be some uses of excessive force. Aren't you concerned that maybe the administration is feeling at the other side of the City Hall that the problem is the narrative, and so that if they get control of the narrative, they're going to fix the problems? It just feels like they're treating the press in this issue of encryption like we're the enemy by closing this out. And similarly, it seems that they're creating an unnecessary adversarial thing with you by asking for a floor.
I don't know, Bob, if I can really compare the two, given, the legs that both of the issues stand on their own. As far as the encryption situation is concerned, I understand both sides, actually. And, we in the council are working through those things, obviously. But the other piece also, I don't really see this as any kind of retaliatory measure towards the council. I think that this was probably very well intentioned. It's just that it would not be a successful venture for us. Thank you all very much. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you.